Good evening, this is Darth Porgius in association with Stormcastle Jackson here to show you the Black Series action figures of Smuggler's Run. It includes Hondo Ohnaka, Rey in her Batuu outfit, Chewbacca, and a pair of Porgs. Now, as you can see on the front, there is an ages 4+ label and a warning choking hazard label because that is a requirement to be put on the box to indicate that these are small parts, not suitable for children under 3 years, just, in case they choke. On the top side, we just have a stylized version of a box. On the side, it has similar to a typical Black Series. It has no number setting on here, but it does label each of the 4 characters within the box: Hondo, the Porgs, Rey, and Chewbacca. This side has some Arbesh written on it. I can't read Arbesh, so please don't ask me what it says, but if someone could put in the comments below, that'd be much appreciated. And on the bottom side, we have our barcode. And then on the back, we have a brief description of each of the characters. Hondo is a weak-clay pirate turned legitimate businessman, though most of us would just call him a smuggler. Porgs, as we know, they're from Octo. They're small, flat-muzzled avians. Rey, in her Batuu outfit, is a scavenger toughened by life in Jakku's harsh deserts. And Chewbacca, the legendary Wookiee warrior and Han Solo's co-pilot aboard the Millennium Falcon. Also, this is the only label mention of Star Wars on the box is right here. This is the price for $69.99 and the Hasbro logo. So we're going to open this up, take a look, see what's inside. Okay, I lied. There's one more mention of Star Wars, indicating that this is the Black Series. This is Hondo. He comes complete with his blaster. 2 Porgs. And Rey with her lightsaber, her blaster given to her by Han, and her staff. And then Chewbacca with his bowcaster put into 2 separate parts. Now, before we open this up, I wanted to note that in comparison to the Porgs from the original Black Series set, these Porgs actually have a different sculpt. This Porg's mouth is all the way closed, but also it's fatter than this Porg, and its wings are not as extended. And this Porg is a sitting down Porg. But now that we've compared these 2 sculpts, let's open it up and get a better look, shall we? I'm going to seal this box back up and set it right out of the way so that way we don't damage it. So, pull the plastic out, and these all look like they just pop out real nice and smooth for us, which is great. Now, Rey's sculpt is a different sculpt that was used on previous Reys. I believe it's called Photoreal. And it looks as if they've taken Rey's actress, Daisy Ridley, and actually photorealed her face, which is very nice. I like that very much compared to other sculpts of Rey. So let's pop these guys out and take a look-see. Come on, Chewie. Now, Chewie's taller than most Black Series figures, and I'd certainly hope so because, Wookiee, tall person. Now, his bandolier looks like it might be able to come off, but I would not recommend doing that. This is what Chewie looks like from the backside. He's got plenty of articulation. He's nice and easy to move around. I like that. I'm going to set Chewie right here for a second while I pop his bowcaster out. Now, as we can see, the bowcaster comes in 2 parts. So let me just put this together. How does it hook? I do not play with action figures very often. If we can't tell, I can't figure out how this... Storm, if you want to, while I hold the camera for a second. Alright, so now that the bowcaster has been Then we are going to slide this into Chewie's hand. Just going to take Chewbacca for a second then. Slide the bowcaster in. Okay. Now we're going to pop out Rey. Now her garments are made entirely out of plastic, it looks like, which I don't believe there has been a Black Series character yet that's been made with cloth. I could be wrong. I admittedly am not the Black Series collecting family. So this is Rey's outfit. It looks very similar to her Octo outfit. I'm just going to point that out right now. This is how Rey looks from the front. She's also got plenty of articulation, though her elbows bend a little easier than Chewie's do. And then this is what Rey looks like from her backside. And here's the side. She has a little holster for her. Move her hand out of the way for a second. There's a holster for her blaster.
And she has a scar on her
And she has
arms.
a scar on her arm. Yes, she does. And it's right here for those who can need to see it a little better. And does it? I thought she had a scar on her face, but that must just be the lighting. I'm going to set Rey down for a second while I pull her devices out. I'm going to slip her blaster into her holster. It's given to her by Hondo. I'm pretty sure she doesn't want to lose that. Here's her staff, which we can sling around her. Let's just stick her arm up in here. And then last but not least is the Legacy lightsaber itself. No, I don't know which hand that lightsaber goes in.
Is it a solid piece or does the blade come out of it?
Let's find out. It's a solid piece. Let's slip. It's not going to go in very well. We'll just leave that right there. Pray nothing unbalances our Jedi. And we're going to pop up the Porgs. This is the part I'm most excited for. Admittedly, we half got this for Hondo and half because Storm can't deny me a Porg for light because I am Darth Porgius. But again, these are two different sculpts from the previous Black Series, and these are also different. And while I don't have my my 3 3/4 inch Porgs to display, I can tell you they are also different sculpts from the 3 3/4 inch Porgs. And last but not least, Hondo Ohnaka, who is our actually somewhat legitimate businessman in the Smuggler's Run ride, where I don't know if you've seen the videos of that on YouTube, but you should definitely go check them out. I'm not going to spoil the ride for anybody. I am going to say, though, I love Hondo's animatronic. Come on, Hondo. I'm going to pop his blaster out first. I don't fear breaking that. Not his blaster. Oh no, something off the table. This is Hondo from the front. His goggles do not come off. He has a holster right here. I love this jacket. I'm going to put his blaster inside his holster here.
It would have been nice if they made it cloth goods. So it'd be removable, but the jacket looks nice.
The jacket has a nice feel to it, I'm not going to lie there. It feels very textured. This is Hondo from the back. He doesn't have as much articulation as Rey does, though admittedly that might be what I'm judging based off of his joints, which you can compare to Rey's. It might be because Rey's is made up of small set of plastics because she's not, frankly, as bulky as Hondo is.
Does his arm pivot up? Spread his arms up?
His arms somewhat pivot. The jacket kind of gets in the way.
Can you T-pose him?
Let's find out. Hondo is T-posing because Hondo would T-pose in real life, and I can tell you that because I personally know Hondo Ohnaka. But yeah, Hondo T-poses, it's not very good for balancing without stretching his legs out a little bit.
Well, I know, just seeing how the joints move.
I can tilt his arms up.
So we have Chewie with I think it's a new sculpt.
Oh, Hondo's knees come out like that too.
And we have Rey with supposed to be the new face. She has an arm scar. And I admit that. And we have Hondo, and that the real reason I wanted it was because of Hondo.
It was the Porgs. You
And
don't have to lie.
Darth Porgy here wanted the Porgs, who Rey is lying on top of at this point.
They're just taking a nap. It's okay.
Porgs are laying down. They're like the fat Porgs, like the fat Pikachu.
Nintendo will execute us right now for mentioning fat Porgs.
But that
like
is
Pikachu.
Hondo. I do like the face. I think it's very nice. I think it's a pretty nice sculpt. It is $70, but if you are a Black Series and you like Clone Wars and Rebels, Hondo I think would be a must-have. So
Not to mention, for the $70 price, you are getting 3 full-size Black Series figures, plus the 2 smaller Porgs, and within itself, I do believe that is a relatively good deal.
even at $20 each, it's, you know, your package, everything together. So it's not bad for a set. I like them, and when we have the other sets, we will make another video. This is Stormcastle Jackson.
And Darth Porteous.
Thank you very much.